So the session is being recorded. Okay, great. So this is the front-facing site, and what we're going to talk about today is just the basics of your agent rebrands. If you hear the word rebrands, just think website. That's just Bouge's term for agent website. So if we go to agent, and we're going to select a division. Gee, let me think. How about residential? And then we'll search. Hi, Rhonda. And this is our list of agents. Okay, so let's go down, and Sue, I'm going to make you the guinea pig for today because I know you don't hit very hard. So we're going to go down here. Sue Winger, there she is. Okay, so if we click on her name, if we click on Sue's name, the website will bring us to her bio. Now, if Sue had any social media that she was involved in, she could let me know, and we could put icons underneath her photo that would take you directly to those social media sites. And also, it's really better if you send those to me. We've discovered recently that if you try and put them in for yourself, it doesn't work because it takes you to the admin portion of LinkedIn or Facebook or whatever social media site. So send them to me. Send me the URL of the social media that you're involved in, and I'll add them to your site and put the icons will appear right under your picture. So Sue has her bio, and if you click on read more, you can read all of her bio, and then her designations show up down here, and I'll show you how to add those. If Sue spoke a different language, that would appear here. And I'll show you how to add that later too. We have active listings, and if you have more than 6, you click on view all listings, and it takes you to another site or another page. And I apologize for this being so slow. They're still working on the back end, and it sometimes takes a while for the pages to load. But there are 11 results that are found. They are the way they're the hierarchy is right now. The default is price high to low. If the consumer wanted to change that, they could go into this drop down and choose whichever criteria they wanted. So that's Sue's active listings. And then if we click here, we can see her sold listings. And again, it's taking a while to load, and it shows the first 6. And then after that, you click on view all listings, and it shows 213. Sue's been busy. And this is only seller-controlled sales. So these are only sales of your listings. And again, I apologize that the photos aren't loading properly. But they're still working on the back end. Bouge is working with MLS to get buyer-controlled sales to show up in the solds, but that probably won't happen until after launch. So, but 213 is pretty respectable, I think. Also, if you click on Contact Me, it brings up a light box, and the consumer would type in their name and contact information and then send it, and that would go directly to Sue. And then if you wanted to print her bio, you could click on print, and if someone wanted to print her bio, or if she wanted to print it out to put it in a package, maybe a pre-listing package she was sending or whatever. And then if you click here, you go to my website. The photos here are the default. Everyone's photos are the same. So one thing that I would encourage you to do if you want to customize your site is change these photos, and I'll show you how to do that in a minute. But Sue, if you click on her name, the box drop-down box comes down, has her contact information. Again, contact me and about me sends you back to her bio page. Now Sue has my listings right here. Any of you can add a little blurb right here. It's called the Rebrand text block. Let me see if I can show you someone who's done that. I thought Sue had, but apparently she took it off. Okay. And many agents have done this. Also, Joe Alonzo has a logo. If you have a logo, you can log it into the back end. But Joe has a little text block here that says, I have over a decade. I have over a decade of helping homeowners professionally sell their homes, blah, blah, blah. So you could put your tagline if you have one here. You can put a call to action here. Some agents are putting videos here. Just whatever you want to put. This is prime real estate on your site. So anything that I wouldn't necessarily promote properties here. I would promote myself. And then if you scroll down, you see Meet Joe or Meet whoever. And this, if you click on here, it goes back to the bio. This, if you click on this, eventually, not yet, but eventually you'll be able to download the mobile app. And this is where the consumer can go to set up property alerts. And those are the same things, that we are currently using. We have those on our current site, and you have them, of course, in MLS. So same kind of situation. This is open houses. If you click here, it will take you to a page, and you can search all of the open houses in Wichita. But they have to be loaded in MLS in order for them to show up. Testimonials, and Sue didn't have any testimonials on her page because people don't like her. No, I'm kidding. But if you have testimonials, be sure and load them in. And if you click on this button or click on this space, it will go back to the bio and it will show all the testimonials. And I'll show you where to load those as well. Just wanted to show you the front end of the site in case you haven't had time to explore it, and then we'll go into the back end and I'll show you how all this stuff works. So if you click on the logo, regardless of it, whether it's the Wygand logo or your personal logo, if you click on it, it goes back to your home page on your website. Typically on most websites, this will go back to the main page, but we want to make sure that your clients stay on your page and you capture them. That's why when you're thinking about customizing, I would highly recommend that you don't link to somewhere off this website. For example, let's say that you had a great picture of Botanica and you wanted to put in your snippet right here something about Botanica and you wanted to link to it, and it takes them to Botanica's website. They're off of your website at that point. So we want to capture them on our website and not send them somewhere else. So if you click here, for example, well, let's go to another one. Moving to the area we can help. If you click here, it will take you to the relocation division. All of these photos are customizable. You can take them out. You can reload whatever photos you want. You can either populate this area, or you can have it blank. You can have nothing there, or you can have words there that link to something. And that's kind of the biggest bang for your buck if you do that. Just take them to another portion of your site. So that's relocation. Find the value of your home. This is still under construction. But, there's just lots of different things that you can do with these links. One thing that people are talking about doing is, well, if I have a high dollar listing, maybe I'll put a photo of my listing here and put for more information on 123 Main Street, and then link to the individual property website. I would discourage that. And the reason that I would discourage that is because if you do that, then if that listing expires or if it sells and you don't take that link off of your website, someone clicks there, they get a broken link. And if somebody gets a broken link on your page, they're probably not coming back. So unless you are 100% dedicated to making sure that when that listing sells, when it goes pending in MLS, that you take it out of, you take that link off of here. I wouldn't recommend doing that. Now, can you put your listings here and maybe just put the address and not put a link? Of course, that would work great. Okay, so we've kind of explored this part. The blog is, again, the company blog, and Cassie has written 3 really awesome blogs. John Rupp wrote an introductory blog. Thank you for coming to our site. And then Bradley Tiedemann, we're posting one that he wrote on industrial property that will go in the commercial section. So we're working very diligently to make sure that there's lots of posts on the blog and that we continue to keep it up. So don't worry about you doing a blog. If you do currently have your own blog and want to link it here, we could do that. But my guess is most of you are not going to be too diligent about making that happen. So let's go to the admin portion, okay? And I am signed in as Sue Winger because I have super user access, and my screen looks totally different than yours will. So I'm signed in as Sue. Thank you, Sue, for allowing me to do that. I didn't even ask permission. And if you click on My Info, that will take you to the part of the back end of the site. And remember, this is wigand.clients.booz.com/admin. However, if you go to the homepage of LarryWigand.clients.booz.com/admin is how you get there. But if you go to the front page of eventually Wigand.com, scroll way down to the bottom and click on Agent Login, you get to the same spot. So if you can't remember the /admin, just use this to get there. And I have to move this box, sorry. Okay, so we are in the admin portion. And again, I'm signed in as Sue, so this should look very much like your screen. Click on My Info, and it has Sue's name. We don't want to hide her. She's a sales associate. I'm guessing Sue's a broker, so we need to change that to associate broker. Then it has her email address. All of this is already pre-populated for you. You shouldn't have to do anything to this. The only thing that you might want to change is the east, west, and downtown offices have direct lines, like mine is 2923966. If you would rather have your direct phone as opposed to your cell phone, you can come in and change this. When you change phone numbers, just remember that we are using dots, 316.686.7281. Don't change it to dashes or don't make parentheses. We want to make sure that the site is consistent. Okay, and her assigned office is Derby, of course. And again, this is all pre-populated for you. We did a lot of work on the back end before you even saw it. There's Sue's bio. And if she spoke any other languages, this is where we would choose. If you speak a language that's not in the drop-down, let me know and we'll add it. And this is where you add your designations. So, and there's a big, big, big long list. So if there's something that you need to add to the designations that appear on your site already, this is where you would do it. Okay, display listings and display solds. Let's say that you are either a brand new agent or that you, yes, Kim, I'm sorry. Let me open this up, and Kim had a question. Yes, wigand.clients.booz.com/admin. That's correct. Okay, so let's say that you were either a brand new agent, or let's say you just worked yourself out of a job and you didn't have any current listings. It's much better to click no here, that you don't want your listings displayed, because if you don't click that box and you don't have any listings, the box will still show up and it will say, let me get back there. I need to move this box over, sorry. Okay, so let's say we're going to go into an agent. I should have narrowed the search, sorry. Okay, let's say that Michelle doesn't have any listings or doesn't have any sold. She's a fairly new agent. So what we did is we just took those off of her site. So you won't see the listings or the solds on her bio because we took that off on the back end. And this is where we do it. Display listings no or display solds no. I had an agent that did not want their solds shown. The reason being is she had been in a particular price range and she was trying to break into a higher price range, and she didn't want her current clients or her future clients to see the price range that she had been selling before. So we hid her solds. Totally up to you, okay? Your division is residential. One thing I highly recommend is that you go in and change your password. When we initially released this to all of you, your login is your email address, of course, and then your password is Wygand, all lowercase. Well, since everybody has the same password, that means, and I know what your email is, that means that anybody can get into your back end. Not that anybody would do that, but just for security purposes, change your password. So put your new password here, confirm it, and click change password. If you make any changes here on anything, make sure you save, because if you don't, you'll lose it. And I've done that so many times, I don't even want to tell you. So make sure that whatever you do on this page, if you make any changes at all, that you save them. Okay, the next thing we're going to talk about is photos. And photos is the general photo is your headshot, and those should all be loaded in. But if you ever want to change them, you can. Let's say you've got a new photo. Now, always remember that staff is more than happy to help you, and I'm more than happy to help you. But it's kind of nice for you to know how to do this yourself. If you choose not to do it yourself, ask your staff for help or ask me, and we're more than happy to do that. But just wanted to train you on how to do it in case you want to do it for yourself. So you're going to put a name, then you're going to choose your file, and what you'll do is just go to your picture library and choose a picture, and let's just do that. Let's just say Sue, and I'm going to choose a file. Let's pretend this is her, and then I'm going to upload and save. It's going to take a while because this is a big photo. Okay, so this is the photo that I've chosen for her headshot, but it's not displaying because the one that's in this position is the one that will display. If I want this to display as her headshot, I click that arrow and make it first. Okay. But let's say that she decided she really didn't like that headshot. She wanted to delete it, so you just go here and delete. Okay, now let's say that you have a logo that you want to add to your site. This is where you do that. And remember, Joe had a logo that appeared at the top of her site. If you don't have a logo entered in, it's going to show the Wygand logo, but Joe has one, so this is where it was added. Sue asked, can you add a member of your team in the photo section? That's a totally different thing. If you have a team, you have a totally different website. So, and I'll show you that in a minute. But right now we're working on individual websites. Okay, so if you want to add a rebrand logo or your own personal logo, you put a name. It could be logo. You choose the file, so obviously it needs to be a JPEG. You upload and save, and it'll show on the front end. Super, super easy. Now, slideshow is where you add those hero images. Remember, these are what we call hero images. So these are the photos that show on the front end, and slideshow is where you add them. You all have photos that are defaulted to you, but remember, everybody has the same photos unless they've made changes. So if you want to customize your site and you want to make it special and make it not look like everybody else's, one of the best things you can do is change the photos, and you do that here. So what you do is you click, you name the photo, you choose the photo. The description is where you add these words. Okay? If you choose not to use this, that's fine. Just leave it blank, and it won't show up, and neither will this bar. But if you want words on your photo, you add it under description. If you want a link for your photo, if you want to link it to somewhere, you add the URI. And the URI, for example, is, let's say you wanted to add communities. So your URI, if you go to communities, let's go to back to Joe's site. You click on communities. Now remember, all of this will be, right now it's joealonzo.wygan.clients.booge.com/communities. Eventually it will be joealonzo.wygan.com/communities. The URI is what appears after the .com. Okay? So that's the URI. You do not have to, and you should not add the whole URL, just add the URI, which is the portion that's after the .com. So if you add the URI under link, upload and save, then that will show up under your hero photos. So that's how you make that work. And that's something, again, that I would encourage you to do. Now let's say that you wanted to add a little blurb right here, and that's called a rebrand text block. So in order to get there, we go to website content, customize my site, and you have to say you agree to the terms of the site customization disclaimer. Basically what this says is if you go in and make changes, you can break the link from the main site. All of the content from the main site is downloading to your personal website. So let's say that you went in and you changed something under the sellers portion, that would break that link. So if we make a change on the sellers portion on the main site, it would not feed to your site again. So and that's not a big deal. Just wanted you to be aware of that. So Sue, I'm going to be really nice to you and say you accept that. So this is the sitemap for the site, and we'll get to the text rebrand text block in a minute. But anything that has blue checks on it, it's going to show up on the front of your site. Okay? So, and we made decisions about what went on your site and what didn't. We didn't think that you would want all the residential offices or all the residential agents on your site, because you don't want anybody to know that there's any other real estate agent on the planet but you. So we chose not to check those boxes for you. Also, our offices about JP Wygan, we want it to be about you, not about the company. So anything that's checked blue appears on the front of your site. So let's go back to, now let's say that you decided, let me pull up Sue's site again. Okay, so all of these top navigation items, let's say that Sue, for whatever reason, didn't want communities on her site. So what we could do is we could find communities, which is right here, uncheck it, go back to her site and refresh, and Communities is not there anymore. So if there's anything on this top navigation bar that you want to do away with, all you have to do is uncheck that box. Well, we're going to give Communities back to Sue. But let's say that you didn't want why sell with YGAN. Even the sub-navigation you can take off. Just uncheck the box. You can also add things to navigation. That's a little more complicated, but you add a page name. Let's say you wanted to add a page on your preferred vendors. You would call it maybe preferred vendors. Choose a template. That would probably be a content page. Select a location for the page. So you have to figure out where you want that to show. So maybe under buyers, you think? Okay. So we're going to go up here and we're going to select, we're going to decide where we want it to go. Okay, we want it to go under buyers. And then we'll add a page, and I'm not going to do this, but we'll add a page and it will open another page and allow you to add content. So super easy to load it, to add a page, to hide a page. Do not ever, 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 ever delete a page. See these red X's? Don't touch them. Please, please, please. You can also move pages around by using the arrows. You can edit pages. Let's say that you liked, Let's say that you liked the page, Tips and Hints for Sellers, but you wanted to edit it. So you go in here and you edit the content page. Okay, but you see, if you content it, if you edit it, you're going to get a pop-up that says, remember, if you edit this, you're not going to get content updates from the main site. Are you okay with that? So you have to make that decision. Now let's say that you went in here and messed around and you decided that you really liked the default better than anything. You can always go back here, click Clear Overrides, and it will go back to the default. So you really can't mess anything up, except don't delete any pages. Okay, so we're at the home page and we want to add this little text block under our hero photos. So what we do is we're on the home page, we click on Edit Content, go to Rebrand Text Block, and that's where you add your text. It's much better if you type it on another on a Word document and then open this, copy and paste it here, and then click OK. Don't ever copy and paste directly onto here, because if you do, you're going to get all the symbols and gobbledygook that you get with Word. So always paste your content into this box. Okay. This can be a title. The title obviously is bigger, and then if you want the text in your text box to be bigger, you go here and you can choose the size of text. So play around with that. Always when you're making changes, make the change, save it, and then go to the front end and see what you've done. So let's type something in Sue's box, okay? And we're going to save Rich Content Page. And then we'll go back to her site. Of course, we have to refresh. And sometimes it takes a while for it to show up, but it didn't here. It showed up right away, okay? So, but make sure that whenever you make a change, that you check it and make sure that it looks exactly the way you want it to look. And we'll just delete that. And save it. And if we go back to her site and refresh it, Oh, it's still there. Oh no! It'll take a while, maybe. Sue, I promise I'll fix it. Okay, we got a lag time, but that's okay. I'll go back and check it, Sue, I promise. Maybe I do speak a different language, is what she's saying. Sometimes it takes a while for it to show up. So, but we'll go back and check it later. Okay. So you know how to add your rebrand text block. Okay, let's go back here and look at the, this is what we call rebrand. Let me look at it again. Rebrand custom boxes. That's what these are, these three, okay? So rebrand text boxes, or rebrand, what did I say? Custom boxes, sorry. And rich content 1 and rich content 2, that's these two boxes. This one is always static. You're never going to be able to change this. It's always going to say meet Sue or meet whoever you are. The Go Mobile box and the property alerts box you can customize. I don't know what else you would put in that piece of real estate on your website that would be more powerful than those two. But you know, it's your site. If you want to change it, you can. But these three on the bottom are very, very customizable. Remember, when you're looking at these, though, what you'll need is you'll need to think this through. You will need a title, you'll need a photo, and you'll also need something to link it to. So let's say that Sue decided she wanted to link to communities and relocation rather than these two blocks, rather than two of the three. She likes open houses, but she doesn't care about testimonials or the blog. So what we'll do is we'll go into Rebrand Custom Boxes, click on Edit, and you're not seeing anything here because what you have is the default that's being fed from the main site. So you need to come up with a title. So that could be communities, and then you choose a file. So you need to choose a photo, and then the link. Remember, we said only use the URI. You're not going to use the entire URL. You're going to use /communities or whatever it is. So that's the first box that appears. Then the second box you would put here, the third box there, and then click on Save. So this is something that you're going to have to play with a little bit. It's really pretty easy, but you just have to play with it a little bit. So let's see what else we can do. I think I'm ready for questions. Does anybody have a question that they want to ask, or something that they've been trying to do that they're not able to? Okay, well, if you don't have any questions, I think I have exhausted my knowledge. Again, always remember that if you need help, get help from your support staff, or you can always reach out to me and I'm more than happy to help you. But I appreciate you being on the call today, and hope your site looks wonderful. And again, if you need any help, just give me a call. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.